Today we are looking at something ridiculous in the best possible way. This is the Mythical Anubis Mech from JMBricklayer, a 3,845-piece set that is currently listed at $139.99. And for that price, you are not getting a small display piece. You're getting a giant mythological machine that feels like it walks straight out of an ancient legend and into a sci-fi warehouse. Just look at the scale. This thing towers over a minifigure. It is massive, dramatic. And honestly, the camera still does not fully capture how imposing it feels in real life. And that is the big question for today. Is this just a huge model, or is it actually a great build and a great display set? Let's find out. First impression, very clean and very organized. For a set this large, that matters. Everything comes packed into 3 internal boxes, divided into numbered bags, so the whole experience already feels structured rather than chaotic. That is a big plus on a build this size. And the instructions are thick, which makes sense for a set of this scale. This is not a casual weekend build. It is the kind of project that asks for time, attention, and a bit of patience. But the organization does help keep the climb under control. Let's start with the part that sells the whole model at a glance, the upper body. The chest and shoulders are loaded with detail, and that is where the set really starts to flex. There is a great mix of system and technic building here, and the layered construction gives the mech real depth instead of making it feel flat or empty. What I like here is the density. It feels built, not just assembled. You have decorative patterns, Egyptian-inspired shapes, and a very strong sense of texture across the torso. And if you lift this part, you get even more detail underneath. There are hieroglyph-style decorations hidden in the lower section too, which is a lovely touch. It rewards a closer look, and that is exactly what a display model should do. The head is also a highlight. It is a unique molded piece, fully articulated, and it has that strong, mythic silhouette that makes the whole model feel like a character rather than just a robot. The internal neck detail is a nice bonus because it gives the build more mechanical credibility. And the eyes use 3 D-raised stickers with 2 extras included, which is always appreciated. The arms are less complex than the legs, but they still feel dense and well built. The real star here is the hands. They are fully articulated with individual fingers and segmented joints, which gives the model a much more expressive look. That matters because a mech like this lives or dies on silhouette and posability. From the shoulders outward, the whole arm shape flows nicely, and it gives the figure a powerful stance without making it look clunky. Now we come to the part of the build that really earns its reputation, the legs. These are huge, dense, serious. They are the kind of sections that remind you this set is not trying to be cute. It is trying to dominate the shelf. The build is advanced, and you do need patience here. This is probably not the sort of model I would hand to a younger builder who wants instant progress. It is rewarding, but it asks you to stay focused. One thing I really like is how the rear support works. The back shaping is excellent, and the joint system helps carry the weight convincingly. It makes the model feel engineered, not just decorative. The only small downside is that building 2 similar legs can get repetitive. It is not hard in a bad way, just long in a very leg day kind of way. The weapon design is excellent. These translucent red blades give the model a very sharp visual punch, and they fit the mythic mech theme perfectly. They are bold without looking random. The staff is held convincingly, which helps the pose feel deliberate instead of awkward. And the base is more interesting than it first looks. It uses translucent parts in a very nice way, and the clear Technic elements give it a lighter, more premium feel than you might expect. That is a smart design choice because it prevents the display stand from stealing attention from the mech while still making the whole presentation feel special. Now for the lighting reveal. This is where the model changes personality a little. The halo lights up the mythological feel, and the details become much easier to read in the dark. It is not just there for decoration. It actually strengthens the whole display effect. From the official page, the set is described as including integrated acrylic lighting. And that matches the idea here very well, because the lighting is part of the visual identity of the model, not just an afterthought. In daylight, the build already looks impressive. With the lighting on, it becomes much more dramatic. One of my favorite little extras is the scale. It is a clever nod to one of the most famous moments in Egyptian mythology, the weighing of the heart. According to the ancient belief, after death, a person's heart would be placed on a scale against the feather of Ma'at, which symbolized truth and justice. Anubis, the jackal-headed god of the afterlife, would oversee the process and make sure the judgment was fair. If the heart was heavier than the feather, well, things did not end well for that soul. It is a really cool inclusion because it gives the mech an actual mythological backbone. It is not just a giant robot with Egyptian colors slapped onto it. The designers clearly wanted to tie the display piece into the real legend behind Anubis, and I think that adds a lot of personality to the set. And that matters, because the best display sets always feel like they belong to something larger than themselves. You also get some useful extras, like tweezers, finger gloves, a brick separator, a USB-C cable for the lightbox, and spare parts. That is a nice presentation touch, especially for a set that clearly wants to feel premium. So, what is the verdict? If you like Egyptian mythology, dramatic display models, and builds that feel like a proper challenge, this set has a lot going for it. The design is bold, the scale is genuinely impressive, and the mix of technique and system building gives it a satisfying construction experience. Officially, JMBricklayer presents it as a premium display collectible for builders 14 and up. And that description is fair. This is not really a playset. It is a shelf monster, a conversation piece, and a statement build all at once. At $139.99, the value proposition is very strong for a 3,845 plus piece set, especially one that includes lighting and so much visual impact. Now, is it perfect? No. It is long, repetitive in places, and definitely not something I would call casual. But as a display piece, it does exactly what it should do. It impresses, it feels mythic, it earns its footprint. If this kind of set is your thing, then yes, this one is very easy to recommend. So, check out the links in the description below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up, and thank you so much for being here and watching all the way until the end. Big hugs, and I will see you in the next video. Happy building!